Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the next edition of the return to the SWF. We are here for our fourth pay-per-view in the save. And guys, I hope everybody in the locker room's not nervous tonight because we got a pretty big audience. As I don't know if you heard, but the world is watching. That was one of the funniest things I've ever said in my life. But yeah, the world is watching is the pay-per-view we are booking. Fourth pay-per-view of the show, and honestly, I'm thinking it's a pretty stacked card if I do say so myself. I feel like everything that on paper looks weak has some really good storylines to it, and everything on paper that looks strong is strong. So, yeah, nothing really happened in the news except for Swoop McCarthy wants to work in Britain now. That's literally it. That's all that happened over the last 2 months. Actually, and Marty Simmons, I believe, one half of All Night Party, one of my probably my favorite tag team in RIPW right now. His contract's coming up, and Jerry Eisen's like, haha, he doesn't have 60 charisma. So there they go. RIPW is just going to turn into, like NXT, because it's just going to be me signing the people I love, because I can't fucking sign any of the other people. Yep. So let's run down the card before we get into the show. So our opener tonight is Des Davids versus Finn Bruiser. Actually, I'm also going to try to give, like, the backstory to all these matches while I'm running them down, just so we don't have to do it during the pay-per-view. So, Finn Bruiser made his debut either a month or two ago. In a huge shock, beating Makutsi in his debut match, getting signed by Eric Eisen. And then the follow-up is not able to get underway as Des Davids, or maybe it wasn't the follow-up. Soon after, Des Davids returns as Squeaky McLean's mystery client. I think in the follow-up, Squeaky McLean comes out and calls Finn Bruiser a bitch or something, and he's like, you can't beat my client, and then his client turned out to be Des Davids, who we hadn't seen since he lost his North American Championship to Lenny Brown. So then the match doesn't get to go underway, and because Des Davids jumps in before the bell, match never starts, and now it's happening here at the pay-per-view. Up next, we have the 4v4, which is Team Sexy, Sammy Smoke, and Bear Bukowski, and the Big Money Boys, which are Brandon James and Spencer Spade, taking on the team of Dominic, DeSousa, Jimmy Hernandez, Robbie Retro, and Steven Parker. So, Team Sexy have been feuding with Jimmy and Steven, and Bear Bukowski, or not Bear Bukowski, and the Big Money Boys have been feuding with Robbie Retro, and so then those two feuds kind of just molted into one when the Big Money Boys enlisted the help of Team Sexy to beat up Robbie Retro because they don't like him, causing Mainstream and Parker to, you know, help Robbie Retro because they've been feuding with Team Sexy. And then Dominic DeSousa, who was fired by Joe Sexy, returns to the company, siding with the baby faces and saying, you know what, fuck Joe Sexy, he was about to ruin my career. And yeah, so that's all built up to this 4v4. Up next we have a Fatal 4-Way, which is a 2v2v2v2, where Hawaiian Crush will be defending their SWF World Tag Team Championships against the Awesomeness, the Dallas Cowboys, and Fame and Money. So Fame and Money have been constantly weaseling their way into more and more title matches, and at the end of Awesome Impact, the Dallas Cowboys were kind of the number one contenders. Fame and Money weaseled their way into a match. The Awesomeness jumped Hawaiian Crush, and then so Fame and Money are trying to deal with Dallas Cowboys to see who can become the number one contender, and Hawaiian Crush are just like, fuck it, we don't give a shit, we can beat all of you, and we'll do it at once, fucking 2v2v2v2. So then it's starting to look like the Awesomeness and Fame and Money may team up and turn it into a 2v2 between those two, and that was until there was I believe it was a 4v4 where the heels actually lost, and that was because BJ O'Neill botched in interference and cost the heels the match, causing Monty Trescott and Paul Huntington to hit their finisher, which I don't remember the name of. The stock market crash. Yes, the stock market crash. Hitting the stock market crash on BJ O'Neill and fucking running away because the Awesomeness were about to kill them. And yeah, so those two turned against each other, and then the Dallas Cowboys just think they're better than they are, so they're like, fucking, we don't need to be nice to Hawaiian Crush. So yeah, that's the backstory for that. Then we have Hollywood Bret, Starr, Primus Allen, and Randy Unleashed versus Angry Gilmore, Joey Morgan, and ZWB. This is another one where two feuds have kind of just molted into one big one, where Bret, Starr, and Angry Gilmore have been feuding for a while now, and the Unleashed Awesomeness have been feuding with Joey Morgan, and to a lesser extent ZWB. I believe ZWB was feuding with Adam Smasher, but Adam Smasher moved on, so ZWB is aligning himself with Joey Morgan now. And yeah, so after Fame and Money laid out BJ O'Neill writing her out of the company, the Awesomeness are like, dude, back out of all this shit. The Rat Pack are a bunch, they're like insane, they're sociopaths, and Randy Unleashed is like, I don't care, I want to win. So now the Awesomeness probably aren't going to get involved during this match, which is going to not put a disadvantage on the heels, but they won't have that advantage going for them now. Then we have the North American Championship, where Lenny Brown will be taking on Adam Smasher. After at Awesome Impact 2020, Lenny Brown beat Rogue, and then Rogue turned face, and then Adam Smasher was like, fuck no, you two are trying to ruin the company and align all the bad people against the good people like me and Domination. And so yeah, Adam Smasher then kind of put himself in the North American title scene. And actually, I can't remember if he beat Rogue or if he I think he won some sort of match to get a stipulation to where Rogue's not allowed at ringside. And then on the go-home show, Eric Eisen overhears Adam Smasher talking game plan to Domination, and then Eric Eisen's like, Have you never heard of closing the goddamn door? You know, Adam Smasher, your guys and Kristen, you're banned from ringside. And he's like, wah! So yeah, that's the North American Championship match. Practically everybody banned from ringside. Up next is Scythe and John Greed versus Rocky Golden and Valiant. The feud has been going since the start of the save, pretty much. I'm not going to run down the whole thing, just kind of what's been happening in this month. So Valiant beat John Greed, Valiant beat John Greed, and then Scythe beat Valiant at the last pay-per-view, but Valiant was saved by Rocky Golden after Scythe and John Greed looked to lay him out. So yeah, now we're doing a tag match. And then in our main event, the triple threat match for the SWF World Heavyweight Championship, Steve Frehley versus Remo versus the Crippler. So at week 3, so the Awesome Impact Fallout show, the Crippler's promo was interrupted by Remo, who said there's nobody left that can even match your skill level, and I can beat it. You saw what I did to Mikey Lau, imagine what I'll do to you. And Eric Eisen's like, you know what, Remo? Don't thank me, because even though I'm going to put you in that world title match, it's only because it's only fair after what I'm about to say. I got this brand new signing who's a big enough name that I want him in the world title picture ASAP, so he's going to get a title match. It's going to be a 3-way. I respect all your efforts with the company over the last few years and everything you've done for us, so that's why you're getting this title match, as to not insult you. And Remo was insulted anyway. He's like, who the fuck are you? You better be Eric Eisen's son, because I haven't seen nepotism this bad. I don't know who the hell you think you are to deserve a world title shot. And it's the returning Steve Frehley. So yeah, Remo and Steve Frehley have been going at it, as the Crippler is just kind of laughing in the background like, haha, they're too focused on each other to actually take me out. I don't think the Crippler realizes that he's facing like the two of the greatest wrestlers in the entire United States. So they could be focused on each other and still win. So yeah, that's the rundown of the card. that took like 10 minutes. So hopefully it'll cut a bunch of time off of the actual pay-per-view of me explaining anything. Obviously, I'll fill in cracks if I didn't mention anything right here, but you all should be up to speed. And so we open our show with our Cheesy Cheese segment, the Awesome Impact, the World is Watching 2020 opening video package, and our official theme song is Squares by Front Court Canalope. Segment gets a 100 clearly because it was such a great segment and totally not Rocky Golden talking to get a bunch of young guys small boost and pop. So we open the show with Finn Bruiser versus Des Davids, and even though Des Davids and Squeaky McLean have poor chemistry, the storyline is that they don't, and Squeaky McLean does get involved to cost Finn Bruiser the match. Finn Bruiser getting a 55, so he's already getting up there in terms of ratings, so that's really good to see. I was worried that his one win against Mikutsi wouldn't be enough to actually boost him into that there's like a huge gap if you sign somebody with no pop to a company like SWF, and it's good to see he's practically already crossed over that gap. 69 rated match, 10 minutes 17 second, quarterback sack. Good stuff. I like to see it. We then cut backstage to Randy Unleashed talking to his boys, and he's like, "Where the hell were you guys last week? Angry Gilmore, Joey Morgan, and that other guy embarrassed us. He embarrassed us. They beat us. Where were you guys?" And Awesomeness just look at him. They're like, "Where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you when BJ O'Neill got killed? Oh, that's right. You were too busy not giving a shit." Because that's where we were. We were too busy not giving a shit about you. So, take one of these as he flips off Randy Unleashed, and bring that to your match. Maybe you can get some good fucking luck. Unleashed Awesomeness are just falling apart. And Randy Unleashed, he tries to stop him. He's like, "What?" And then he realizes, like, fuck, dude. They're right. I'm fucked now. So following that, we have the big 4v4. It's a complete clusterfuck, or not clusterfuck, maybe a spot fest where Bear Bukowski and Brandon James showcase their strength. Sammy Smoke does some great character work. Spencer Spade does some great everything work. Jimmy Hernandez, Steven Parker show off some of their fun indie spots. Robbie Retro does some great character work. Dominic DeSousa does some green shit, but, you know, he's getting there, and I like Dominic. So just an all-around match. Goes about, how long does it go? Goes about 13 minutes. Just a nice showcase match for everybody involved. But in the end, in a decisive finish, maybe not super decisive, because obviously Joe Sexy, Chrissy Angel, and Dulce Moreno are all at ringside, getting involved constantly, so they are at a disadvantage. But in terms of the actual finish, Brandon James hits the big money move on Robbie Retro and gets his pinfall victory over that disco stud. And this is just such a great moment for the Big Money Boys, as they have been desperately trying to ruin Robbie Retro's life for a while, and well, after being defeated, it gives Joe Sexy, Sammy Smoke, and Bear Bukowski enough time to hold down all the baby faces. Even though I couldn't fit everybody on this angle. Jimmy, Steven, and Dominic are all handcuffed to the ringside area. They're on the ground. They can't do anything as Robbie Retro's in the ring, trying to get to his feet. And once he gets to his knees, boom, Spencer Spade with a punt kick. He starts to get up a little more. Boom, Brandon James with a curb stomp. They just lay this guy out. Chair shot after, kendo shot after, baseball bat. Even fucking Chrissy Angel gets in there with a 2x4. And they beat him. And he's bleeding everywhere. They're beating him up, and they don't stop. They don't let up for any second. It's only like a 4-minute beatdown in total, but man, does it feel forever. And they slaughter this guy. And in the end, Robbie Retro can't even move. He's twitching. That's the most movement he's giving. That man is literally dead. And they still don't think it's enough. As they get Chrissy Angel and Dulce Moreno to hold him up, as they go to the ringside, get 2 fresh steel chairs and just baseball fucking swing him. Spencer Spade to the front of his head, Brandon James to the back of his head, and he's done for. And after that, a big sigh of relief by the Big Money Boys as they have finally thwarted that evil that was Robbie Retro. And the segment ends as we go to our next match. It is the SWF World Tag Team Championships, and it's another kind of fast-paced, showcase everybody, get your shit in kind of match. It's not a tornado tag. I think of it as the rules of the AEW multi-tag matches where 2 people are legal and anyone can tag in anyone as long as the 2 people that are on the same team aren't in the ring. And yeah, in the end, it's not elimination, but that's the only match type in the game like this. Multi-team tag matches. The only version in TEW is an elimination. Just pretend like it's not elimination. So in the end, High Flying Hawaiian pins Monty Trescard, and Hawaiian Crush retained the titles. And that was an exhausting match. Fast-paced, but still fucking exhausting, even though it was only 12 minutes. 81 rated match, by the way. That's some good stuff. Paul Huntington pulling out an 82 is pretty cool as well. Or was that pulling? It was Jefferson. It was Jefferson. Sorry. Jefferson pulling out the 82 is great as well. But they're exhausted, and even though asking for this match, they look proud of themselves, and but they're fucking tired. But there's no rest for the tag team champions as Avalanche and Chill run out from the back and lay out Hawaiian Crush and hold up the tag team title, signaling that they are up next. 65 rated segment. And then we get a quick promo by Squeaky McLean and Des Davids. I don't have anything written down. Basically, all it is just Squeaky McLean kind of saying, "You thought that was impressive? Sorry, Finn Bruiser. We don't have anything personal against you. You just happen to be a casualty. It's all about precise marketing. And when you're the hottest thing on TV right now, when you're the flavor of the month, I just want to taste." What the fuck does that mean? We don't have anything personal against you. You were just a casualty of war and marketing. And if you think that was great, this is just the beginning for Squeaky McLean and Des Davids. So yeah, just a quick little hype promo. Up next is our 3v3. Hollywood Bret, Starr, Primus, Allen, and Randy Unleashed versus Angry Gilmore, Joey Morgan, and ZWB. And it looks like the babyfaces are going to take this one. Joey Morgan and Randy Unleashed are in the ring for their finish. When Joey Morgan hits his finisher on Randy Unleashed, and he's about to go for the pin when he realizes the referee is distracted by Jefferson Stardust. And Huey Cannonball runs in from the back, or runs in from behind, hits his finisher before doing a fucking double single leg dropkick on ZWB and Angry Gilmore on the apron. And Randy Unleashed hits the running enziguri on Joey Morgan, getting the pinfall victory. So despite everything that's happened, despite the BJ situation, despite Randy's apathy, despite Randy yelling at them and the Awesomeness flipping him off, in the end, the Awesomeness help Randy Unleashed win. 85 rated match. Fucking great performance by Angry Gilmore. I love that guy. Shame he had to lose, but what does this mean for Unleashed Awesomeness? So is this still a stable? What's going on? We're going to find out. Spoiler later tonight, just not right after this match. So we cut to the backstage, and Brandon James, Spencer Spade, Chris Angel, and Dulce Moreno are all on this big leather couch. They all got beers, and they're all relaxing. And Spencer Spade looks at Brandon James, and Brandon James looks back at him, and Spencer Spade says, "Fuck it." He says, "What the hell? I'm sorry. I was wrong. You're not a ripoff." Fuck. Brandon James says that. Sorry. Brandon James says, I'm sorry. I was wrong. You're not a ripoff. Spencer Spade said, you know what? I saw you get the win tonight. And I'll be honest. I'm finally 100% sold. I was pretty sold on you a while ago, but after seeing you still kick ass to this day is fucking impressive. I take back everything I said. You're not over the hill. You're not just picking on the youth to stay relevant. Brandon James, you're a really cool dude. And Brandon James says, Spencer Spade, you're a really cool dude. Spencer says, you know, as much as I hate that guy, Robbie Retro, he finally brought us together. He made us see what was right in front of our faces. And Brandon James says, yeah. He probably saw that chair that was right in front of his face. And then Spencer, he's going in for a big high five. And Brandon James is like, yeah, man, I'm so glad that shit's over. And they both go in for the high five. And right before they can high five, they see Froshore just with big-ass headphones on, bumping music as he walks by. And they just fucking stare daggers at him. And Froshore, he doesn't realize anything. He's just walking by enjoying some music. These two are just like, are you fucking kidding me? What is that? The cycle continues. So up next, we have the SWF North American Championship, and Adam Smasher has really been putting the weight of whatever he thinks his cause is, the weight of saving humanity on his shoulders, and it is finally taking a toll on him. As despite him thinking he has superpowers, he does not, and he's been trying to do way too much, and he is visibly drained during this whole match. He tried to take out Steve Frehley himself. He's been trying to take out Rocky Golden. He's taken out Rogue. His boys are now taking out Hawaiian Crush. They're not here for this match. Kristen's with Domination. Adam Smasher is completely slowed down, and that is enough for enough for Lenny Brown to get the victory here tonight, defeating Adam Smasher in 1919 with the Starr treatment. Lenny Brown makes defense number 2 of the North American Championship, 76 rated match, and yeah, good stuff, especially good for two guys that don't click. Anything above 70 when the guys don't click is fine with me. Yeah, so following that, we get that follow-up. Randy Unleashed and Primus Allen, they find the Awesomeness backstage, and Randy's like, guys, first things first, I'm sorry. You're right. I after you guys left, I realized how much of a cunt I was being. I just couldn't see it. I was so focused on beating up Joey Morgan. I couldn't see that you guys were right. But more importantly, thank you so much. Thank you guys for and then Huey cuts him off, and he's like, shut the fuck up. We did what we did because we believe in this group, and especially with Primus. I bet you anything. If you didn't have Primus Allen, if you didn't bring Primus Allen, then we probably wouldn't have done that. But Jefferson explained it to me, and he was 100% right. We believe in this stable. This stable is what's going to take us to the mainstream. It's going to take us to the Hollywood. It's going to take us to the top of the top. We believe in it, but you don't. And we decided to give you one last chance. And that was it. You've used your last chance. Okay? Us bailing you out, it ain't going to happen again. Because until we start seeing a return on this partnership, you will not see a return in this group. I don't care what Primus Allen does for you. The Awesomeness are done helping you out without anything in return. We were the bigger men tonight because we know what this stable can do for our careers. We didn't do it for you. We did it for us. Do you understand that? And Randy says, yeah, I do. And that's how the segment ends. The Awesomeness laying the groundwork that Randy is on thin ice. We don't know how this will play out. Up next is the tag team match, the semi-main, Scythe and John Greed versus Rocky Golden Valiant. Scythe has been on a hot streak since coming into the SWF, retiring Skull to Bones, laying out Rocky Golden, putting him out of action, beating Valiant, and the momentum continues. 89 rated match. Holy shit. Fuck yeah, John Greed is the man. He was not the weak link. He got a 64. Wink. 89 rated match. The momentum is still going strong as Scythe and John Greed pick up the victory here tonight. There's no post-match. They don't try to kill him again or whatever. They feel that tonight, calling their shot and following through on it. They made the challenge, by the way. I think I didn't say that in the prologue of this episode. They made the challenge by engraving it into the ring mat on One Supreme TV. So they called their shot, they followed through, and they got a fucking 89 because fuck yeah, Scythe and Rocky. Hell yeah. And yeah, up next is our main event. We have a hype promo right before it, 94 rated hype promo, just kind of your basic WWE style video package before the match, but it's a really good one because it got a 94. And in the main event, triple threat match, Remo's a fucking beast. Steve Frehley's a fucking beast. If you're new to this channel, I'm really bad at calling spots for matches unless I have something in mind. And I don't have anything in mind, so we're going to cut straight to the chase. In the end, the Crippler was right in terms of that he would come out on top. His assumption he would come out on top because Steve and Remo would be too distracted on each other. He was completely wrong as we open the bell with... And Remo fucking, boom, spears Crippler out of his boots. And then, you know, first 5 minutes are just kind of Steve and Remo going at it. And then the Crippler runs in with a big boot. I feel like the Crippler wrestles like Walter Gunther. But yeah, in the end, the Crippler does pin Remo to retain the SWF World Heavyweight Championship 88 main event. Did not do better than that tag match, but I would. There's no multi-universe where I don't put this on last. But yeah, Crippler retains the title. But following the match, Remo can never admit defeat because when he loses, it's never his fault. As he is blaming Steve Frehley for losing him, he is blaming Steve Frehley for focusing on him, costing him the match, and, you know, he's just mad at the Crippler for winning. So once Remo gets to his feet, he starts to try to lay out everybody, but he is stopped by the returning Mikey Lau. We have not seen Mikey Lau since Awesome Impact a month ago when he lost to Remo. Mikey Lau runs in, and he once again... Not effortlessly, because Remo's fucking pissed. Mikey Lau puts Remo in his place, makes him run away, and, Mikey Lau hit a super kick, Remo roll out of the ring. He's about to go back in, he's like, fuck! Because he knows if he goes back in, he's probably going to get his ass kicked, because he just wrestled a 24-minute match. Even if it was a triple threat, it was still 24 minutes long, and... Yeah, so we end the pay-per-view with the Crippler continuing his World Heavyweight Championship reign and Mikey Lau continuing his feud with Remo. So 96 to end the show, and the overall show gets a 91. You fucking love to see it. Damn, it feels good to be Supreme. I'd like to see TCW pull a 91. I just love to see it. I don't think it'll ever happen. But yeah, so Rocky Golden, so again, if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to have 3 tiers. I like to use these to give out, like, awards for the pay-per-view. So, Told They're Awesome is the gold, Given a Hug's the silver, Praise for Great Performance is a bronze. Rocky Golden obviously gets the gold, because he did that. I think Scythe should get the bronze, because he just overall impressed me here tonight. And... I didn't see who did the best performance in the main event. I think Remo. We'll give Remo. We'll give it to Remo. Was pleased, seemed pleased. Good shit. Alright. Yeah, that was a great pay-per-view. Really enjoyed that one. I really think the storylines are I feel like I say this after every show, but the storylines are really coming together after this one. I don't want to click the menu because I don't know what I was doing right before this pay-per-view. Oh, the Griffins won the tag titles. Crazy. What's going on over there in Canada? Nothing. Alright. Fucking nothing. So yeah, let's see what Total Cringe Wrestling's pay-per-views have been doing. That's not the right button. Show history. Yeah, there we go. Battle Cringe. That's right. How could we forget the absurd Battle Cringe? Let's try an actual pay-per-view. You know, that's alright, I guess. It's rookie numbers compared to the world is watching, but, you know, whatever. 85, yeah, I do that on a weekly basis, but, you know, can't have them all. Fucking Battle Cringe, dude. That's the fucking weird. What about the children's company? What are they doing on a monthly basis? 85 rookie numbers. Like, is this how are we not number one? We're just fucking better in every sense of the imagination. Like, get this shit out of my face, dude. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Well, actually, you know what? Let's see. Alright, usually CWA has like some cracked shows, but never mind. So we practically went head to head with Super Slam. We fucking kicked their ass, dude. God damn. Fucking killed them. Jesus. Ugh. Fucking raped them, dude. Embarrassing. It's like, I mean, it's not a surprise we're booking the best company in the world, so I don't know why I'm shocked. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Return of the SWF. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all hate TCW and USPW. Know that they're cringe. They're a bunch of bozos. Simply L fan bases as well. There's like no redeeming qualities of either of those companies, except for like Freddie Huggins and Wolf and Andrews, and Ed Stone. I like him. I wish I had Ed Stone. So that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all are excited for the beginning of the build to our next company, next show, pay-per-view. We start the build to the Master of Puppets. Yeah, I hope to see you all there. I keep doing these outros poorly. One of these days, I have an intro, you know, catchphrase, like, alright, welcome back. I don't have an outro catchphrase. It just doesn't come naturally to me. You know what does come naturally to me? Fucking booking fucking amazing shows. Yeah.